Attention ministry leaders. Have you ever considered growing your ministry with television? Well, the Daily Gospel Network could be what you've been looking for. As one of the nation's largest Christian broadcasting companies, the Daily Gospel Network broadcasts all over the world on popular streaming platforms like Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. If you're looking to grow and reach more people, the Daily Gospel Network could be your solution.
Looking for inspiration, motivation, and the good news of Jesus Christ? Look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Get ready for Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Ignite your spirit and fuel your passion for life with inspiring stories, empowering guests, and transformative ideas. Whether you're pursuing dreams, overcoming challenges, or seeking a spark of positivity, you're in the right place. Together, we'll explore resilience, creativity, and our limitless potential. So sit back and prepare to be inspired. Let's unlock incredible possibilities on Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson.
Welcome back to Purpose Today. I'm very excited for our very next special guest, Petrena Notice. She's the founder of Woman Ascend. Very excited to have her on the show. Hi, Petrena. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hi, April. I'm great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Really looking forward to this session.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. So I know that there's so much information that we want to unpack today, but can you just share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I'm the founder of Woman Ascend Network, which I can't wait to get into. I'm also, a mother, a wife, but aside that, I am a university lecturer. So my main focus is contract law, and then my research is in human rights, which ties in quite nicely with what I do when it comes on to Woman Ascend, which is really about empowering women and getting them into a space of visibility.
That is awesome. And so I understand that you had some experiences along the way that really motivated you to launch your nonprofit organization. So can you please share some insight regarding your experience?
Absolutely. So when I first entered into academia, I was quite young and probably a little bit naive to the challenges surrounding the education system. So one of the things I observed or came to find is that there is a attainment gap. So there's a huge gap between BAME students and their white counterparts. So at the time, I sort of discussed with a friend of mine just starting a nonprofit then, but the main focus would be closing that gap, but really just providing a space for BAME students to get support, which wasn't necessarily available at that time. And what I wanted to name it then would be the Vision Ascend. But as I matured over time, I sort of came into myself or grew into myself. So figuring out, the person that I am, what I want to do, what my passions are, what my purpose is. And then I came to the realization that actually my main focus will be, just empowering in women. It's not to say that, you can't help everyone else, which absolutely you can support. But that is my niche, which is just empowering women, which brings me to Woman Ascend, providing that space for women to grow and just to ascend, which we'll go into later.
That's awesome. And so prior to having those experiences, had you ever, given any thought or considered doing anything of that nature?
Actually, no. I was just focused on my career, let's get this PhD, let's get my master's, let's get my degree. And at some point, let's just marry. But it never crossed my mind that I would be leading a non-profit, that I would be, speaking or being vocal around the issues that women may find themselves in. And I think that's where it's important. That's, when you're starting out or you're a bit younger, you might think, well, the world is my roller coaster. I'm going to do whatever I like. But as you grow over time, and as you key into the Spirit of God, you start to find yourself step by step, step by step. And that was it for me. As I matured, I started to figure out who I am as a person, the things that I wanted to do, and also, what God wants me to do as well.
That's awesome. And so, can you just, share some additional insight with people? How does Woman Ascend impact society, and who's your target audience?
Okay, so absolutely, you can tell from the name, my target audience is women of all ages. But I'll be totally honest with you. When I received this vision, and I started reaching out to women, I found two narratives. I found that the more mature women were keen on being involved, but from the perspective of counsel. We're happy to get involved, but we want to pour into younger women. And then I found that with the younger women, they were excited. I'm so grateful to have this community, because what we find is that not everyone is confident enough to go to a conference or confident enough to reach out to others. And so what Women Ascend does is it creates a network for women of all ages, really, a network where you can confide in someone. One of the things that we had our launch recently, one of the things I mentioned is that when it comes on to a network, or when it comes on to a woman in general, or anyone at all, you need that community. And within Women Ascend, you might find, a sponsor, so someone that will speak for you behind the scenes. In Christendom, you might say this person is my destiny helper. You might find someone that will connect you to your next opportunity. You may find someone who's just a friend, because sometimes you just need someone that says, actually, I believe in you. I see that you can do it. I know that you can do it. Let me be your guiding hand. And so it's all of those things that you will find in the network. But in addition to that, what I always say is the network really is about empowerment. And when I say empowerment, I'm talking about amplifying your voice. So letting this information is relevant to you. This is the information that you need. And as they say, the gap between where you are and where you want to go is information, is someone that you need. And that's what we provide in the network. So we amplify your voice. We give you, we have workshops, seminars, conferences, different opportunities for you to build and grow your confidence over time. Because sometimes it's not that as people that we don't have the skills. You have capacity, you're capable, but you may very well lack the confidence, and you may need someone to say, actually, I see that you can do this, I know that you can do it, and I'm here for you. And one of the things that always stuck to me when I just started out in my career, I was, really, really shy, loads of potential, but so shy. When I go to meetings, I would be, I had all these mature people. I was the youngest person on the team at the time. And I would be so scared to even voice my opinion. Like if I were to voice, you could hear that nervousness in my voice. And I remember, I had a colleague that joined the team a few months after me, and she said something to me. She said, Trina, I'm going to give you an advice. And she said to me, regardless of who's in the room, how many people, when you enter into that room, just ask one question, just say one thing. And it stuck with me because, all you need to do is just do that one thing over time. And honestly, I did it, and, I can speak forever now, but but yeah, so that's what the network is really about. Just educating you, giving you a choice, amplifying your voice, just empowering you all around. Yes.
That's awesome. So, Woman Ascend sounds like an amazing network. How would individuals who are interested in your network, how would viewers find information about Woman Ascend and the services that you offer?
Great. So we do have a website. So it's womanascend.net, and you can find it. Just type it in, will pop up. You can also find us on all social media platforms, so Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You'll find all our information. So you'll find about us, what we do, our different services. So one of the things that we do, which I love, absolutely love, is One Connect, and that's pretty much just connecting you to different people. That's our main focus. When you come into our sessions, we're just connecting you. So if you're looking for an accountant, for example, we have one there for you to reach out to. And we also have our networking sessions in addition. So One Connect focuses just on networking. The networking session, it's not just networking. You're able to speak to people within various capacities, sort of like speed dating, but with the networking, we'll also have some skilled sessions. So skill session, then networking within one. So if you find that, for example, I'm struggling with self-esteem, then you can come to one of our self-esteem sessions. If it's confidence, if it's public speaking, you come to those sessions, because really what we aim to do is to be all round. What I've come to realize, and even in doing my research, I found that sometimes women are a little bit reluctant to apply for those jobs, and you find that our male counterparts, they will apply for it even if they're not qualified. And one of the main reasons for that is because we lack the confidence that we need. We undermine ourselves, we're not able to speak up, and so we provide the practical side of things in addition to the spiritual side as well.
That's awesome. And I know you said something earlier that I want to kind of go back to. You talked about purpose and pursuing purpose. So why do you believe it is important for people to discover and pursue their purpose and their passion?
Great question. Well, for a number of reasons. One, for me personally, it's what drives you. So you wake up in the morning, you're driven by passion. I know this is what I'm called to do. I know it's what I'm supposed to do. It keeps you going. It's your motivator. So even if you're exhausted, even if you're getting to that place where you feel sad for some reason, your purpose will wake you up in the morning. It'll be knocking at your door like, hello, you've got something to do. And
Right.
really it allows you to remove your emotions. So I'm sort of like tunnel vision, because I have this to do. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And really it drives you. So you might find that people don't believe in your vision. People don't believe in you at all. But I know this is the purpose that God has given unto me. Therefore, whatever it takes, I'm going to accomplish it. So you're looking at fulfillment. It fulfills you. When you wake up and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it just gives you this joy. And regardless of your environment, regardless of what is going on around you, when you're in that moment, you feel wow. And for me anyways, it feels like, okay, I'm making God happy, because that plan, that purpose that he has for you, you're walking towards it. And thirdly, it allows you to leave a legacy that gives you joy. It's so wonderful for me to see people that are walking in purpose. And sometimes when we all have people that we admire, when you see them, let's say you see a musician singing or playing their instrument, or a speaker, they always have this massive smile on their face, and you can almost feel the joy that comes with them doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I feel like
Absolutely.
it just drives you. It allows you to leave that legacy, but above all, for me, it's just that fulfillment, because okay, he's given me this purpose, and at the end of the day, I want to empty myself, so much so that I've poured everything in me. And that's my desire, that I will look back and say, every ounce of gifts and talents and potentials and everything that he's given me, at the end of the day, I'll look back and I can say, wow, I've actually fulfilled my purpose. Like, there's nothing that I haven't done. That is something that I'd love to be able to say at the end of the day. And I do believe that everyone has a purpose. It doesn't matter what it is. And one of the things I touch on in my book, I say that not all of us are called to be on the screen. Some of us are purpose to knit, to cook, to look after our families, but it's to make sure that you do what you were supposed to do.
Right.
Sometimes we get carried away. We look at other people and we think, wow, this person is so amazing, they're so talented, and I'm gonna make an attempt to do what they're doing. But actually, even if you try, you will never be as good as that person, because that's not your purpose. You're gifted,
Right.
you're graced in another area, and that's what you
Right.
should pursue, with all boldness and all confidence.
Right. And, you said a lot of things that I want to, take a moment to unpack. And it is very important for us to pursue our purpose and do what we were born to do, right? We have a unique fingerprint. And so we can't ever be anyone else or do what someone else is designed and destined to do, right? And so you talked about leaving a legacy. And I know that you have a book. You briefly just mentioned it. So, can you tell us a little bit about the book that you authored and how viewers can find it?
Great. Yes. Thanks, April. Yes. So I do have a book. It's on your screen. It's called Woman Ascend, which is in line with Woman Ascend Network Med. You can find the e-copy on Amazon, and you can also go to our website, Woman Ascend. There you will find a copy. And if you find me on social media, the name is Petrena K. You can also pop me a message there, and I'll be able to get a copy across to you. So I'm so excited whenever I talk about this book, because it really just brings to life, the in a way, the network. It really talks about the power that we have as women, just as human beings, because we are created in the image of God, and when we look at God, we see that he's a creator, he's an innovator, and he's a purposeful God. I sat down and I thought about this today. He's intentional. Everything he does is so strategic, and that's exactly how we should live our lives. Every decision that we make should be in line with our purpose, in line with our vision, in line with our goals, in line with wherever we're going. When God looked upon the face of the earth and he saw that it was empty, he wasn't running around. He just he just called a council and he said, let's do something with this. Let's bring it into order. And so what I say in this book is that, women, we are created, meticulously. Everything about us is so unique. Everything about you, everything about me is unique. And you don't need anyone else to tell you that you're unique. And when you think about it, when he was crafting, woman, everyone else was asleep. It was just God doing his thing as the creator, designing you. And when I think about that, I think about how precious it must be that it's just him. He knows everything there is to know about you. So that purpose, that called us on your life, that grace, he knows it. And I dive into that in the book. I also dive into purpose, and I say, purpose is knocking at your door every single day. Even if you're 15, you're 60, you're 65, there's still time for you to fulfill that purpose. I also touch on the fact that we can get lost in the many hats that we wear. You're a daughter, for instance, you're working somewhere, you get to that place where you sometimes forget that there is an assignment for me. It's not just about the job that I'm doing. It's not just about the pressures of society, because really, if you sit down and you think about the barriers that comes with who you are as a person, that comes with who you are as a woman, you sometimes feel like, oh, I just can't take it anymore. I'm just going to do the bare minimum. But we shouldn't be doing the bare minimum. We should be looking to dominate the industries that we're in. He's called us to dominate. And for me, you dominate well when you're in purpose, when you're in
I
line with
agree.
what God has called you to do. Because when
Absolutely.
you're in purpose, you don't worry about anything. You just know I'm doing what he's called me to do, and he has my back. I'm confident. I'm going because he's going to show up for me. And when you're in your purpose, you find that you're able to excel because you're driven, you have that spirit of excellence. Like I mentioned earlier, it drives you. For me, when I wake up, I think, okay, this is what I want to do, and I want to do it well. It's not about perfection. It's just about the fact that I want to look back and say I've completely done what I've been assigned to do. So I also touch on purpose as well. I touch on the fact that, sometimes when it comes on to purpose, you might not know exactly what you're supposed to do. You might think, okay, maybe it's singing, maybe it's speaking, and you doubt yourself. But you might find that you come across a person with, a destiny helper, and that person, they may not look, you might even be more educated than them, more intelligent than them, but they're able to say to you, look, there's raw material in you. These are the steps that you need to take to fulfill that purpose. And so they're your guiding hand. It's a bit like Esther and Mordecai, which I go into a lot of details about. And so I say, if you do have a destiny helper, don't be ashamed to reach out to that person. That person could be a pastor, a friend, even your very parents. And so open up yourself to guidance, to counsel, be receptive to the support that is available to you. Because whether you like it or not, we all need someone. Sometimes we think,
Absolutely.
God's going to come down from heaven and he's going to do it all for me, but he connects us through men, and so we just want to make the most of those people around us. But yes, it really is, my book Woman Ascend, a call for us to wake up. We're in a season, a space, and a time where God wants us to be on the forefront of purpose. Whether you're in the business place, whether you're in ministry, whether you're at home, wherever you are, you need to come into that place of visibility. And that means that you have to wake up, you have to find who you are as a person, what you're supposed to do, and just take those steps, whether it's waking up 5 minutes early each day, 10 minutes, whatever baby steps that you need to take to come into that limelight, to come into that space of visibility, to be able to ascend. We're talking about climbing the ranks, climbing the ladder step by step, getting to the top of whatever field that you're in, really.
That's awesome. Well, I tell you, it's been just a joy talking with you today, Petrena. And for anyone who might be interested in connecting with you, I have your website and your email address. And we didn't mention earlier that you're in England. So we have your number for Woman Ascend. And thank you so much. It's been such a joy having you here today. And so thank you for everyone who is watching. We hope that this episode of Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson and our very special guest have been a treat for you. And so thank you very much, Petrena. We really appreciate you. And we thank you to everyone who is watching in the audience. Blessings to you and your family. Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks for having me, Dr. April. Thanks, everyone.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Looking for inspiration, motivation, and the good news of Jesus Christ? Look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Attention ministry leaders. Have you ever considered growing your ministry with television? Well, the Daily Gospel Network could be what you've been looking for. As one of the nation's largest Christian broadcasting companies, the Daily Gospel Network broadcasts all over the world on popular streaming platforms like Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. If you're looking to grow and reach more people, the Daily Gospel Network could be your solution.
Wow, what an amazing insight from Petrena. We're very excited that she was able to join us today. And so we're excited to have her on the show. And so if you feel that you need to pivot but you don't know how, you can email us admin@purposetoday.com. Again, that's admin@purposetoday.com. We appreciate you. Thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Purpose Today. Today. And we really hope that you'll join us next week on Monday at 7 a.m. for another power-packed episode of Purpose Today. Thank you, and make it a purpose-filled day.
Thank you for tuning in to Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Our mission is to ignite your spirit and fuel your passion for life. Join us next time for more inspiring stories, empowering guests, and transformative ideas that uplift and motivate. Whether you're chasing dreams, facing challenges, or just seeking a spark of positivity, we're here to inspire you. Together, we'll explore resilience, creativity, and the limitless potential within us all. So, until next time, stay inspired from your friends at Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson.
With my daughter, all that anger, all those big emotions were coming out. And I think in that moment, I kid you not, I had this voice coming in telling me, Jahanvi, what are you doing? You need to do things differently. You got to do something. And I think that was the night when I was like, okay, that's it. No more. I gotta look. There gotta be some answers out there. There gotta be a different way of parenting. I don't know. That time I didn't know it was going to be conscious parenting. And I started just looking into it, and, conscious parenting came in front of me. I feel like when you really pray for something, it's just put in your lap, and that's exactly what happened with me. And I just reward myself into it. It was very, very new concept for me. And I was like, I was not fully convinced, but I just follow my gut. And I just followed like, hey, something about this feels right and something about this feels good, and I'm going to learn more about it and see where this takes me. And I just started the journey of conscious parenting with me first, and along the way, I wanted to be a health coach in the side, because I felt like, because I think I had to resign from my job. I think I mentioned I was a technology teacher at the time. And for family circumstances, I had to resign from my job. So I was home with my daughter at that time. I had my son too by that time. And, I had more time, spirituality was, more focused for me at that time. I got more and more into it since I was home. And I just had this deep calling within me. I remember like sitting in meditation, and tears would, run down. And I was like, I'm meant to do something. I know I'm meant to be a mom, but there's something more I'm meant to do. I just don't know what it is. And I kept, so here I was learning conscious parenting. And on the side also, I was, asking universe, God, to give me some clue. What am I meant to do in this life? I know I have a mission, purpose, but what is it? And at that time I went through my health weight loss journey, and I lost a lot of weight from my pregnancy. And I thought maybe I'm meant to be a health coach. And I was like, okay, maybe that's what I'm meant to do. And I almost enrolled in this program. And then a week later, this conscious parent a certification program came in front of me. And I was like, I just knew it, like deep in my heart. I was not even completed with the information I was watching. I was like,
Thank you for tuning in to Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Our mission is to ignite your spirit and fuel your passion for life. Join us next time for more inspiring stories, empowering guests, and transformative ideas that uplift and motivate. Whether you're chasing dreams, facing challenges, or just seeking a spark of positivity, we're here to inspire you. Together, we'll explore resilience, creativity, and the limitless potential within us all. So, until next time, stay inspired from your friends at Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson.